Obviously, we know your opponent is known for his early finishes, and your volume was up tonight. Were you trying to push the pace with him and see, make him work and see how far you could take him?
Definitely. I definitely wanted to push the pace. I felt I started off a little slow. He was smaller, but he was fast, man. He was fast on the feet. I had a pretty rough weight cut. I cut like 20 pounds in 2 days, so it was a rough weight cut this time around. But I think the speed was something, like I felt I had crisp strikes, but my speed just wasn't there like it normally is. But once we got to the ground and I felt his grappling, I felt the wrestling aspect, I said, okay, this is where I want to be. So I wasn't able to just go like I wanted on the feet, but overall, yeah, I mean, he's a beast. I definitely kind of underestimated him a little bit. I would say in the striking aspect. But wrestling and grappling, I've always known and know that I have some of the most elite technical grappling in the game. So
yeah, I know there's always a method to the madness with the weight cutting, and sometimes fighters will carry more weight and cut more weight. There's like a method to it. Was there any method to that this week? Did you have an injury?
No injury. Everything was to the T. Everything was normal. I was just about 3 to 4 pounds heavy the entire camp. 3 to 4 pounds heavy the entire camp. So my dad's like, hey, you're a few pounds too heavy, you're a few pounds too heavy, and then I'd get down to where I need, and then drinking 2 gallons again, and then boom, I'm right back up there. I think splitting my meals up, I'm a fat ass dude, I love food. Like as soon as I get done fighting, I'm eating Oreos, Snickers, and just all kind of just shit that I probably shouldn't be eating as an athlete, but you know what I mean? I work hard so that I'm able to indulge and enjoy that afterwards. But during camp, I'm on a very strict diet, but I like to feel full. So instead of splitting a full dish up into 2 meals, I'll just eat the whole damn thing in 1 meal. And my dad's like, bro, you gotta chill. I'm like, I wanna feel full. Like, what's the point of eating?
The CEO was in here earlier and he said, man, I believe AJ is really the best 145er in the world. What does that mean to hear that? And then also, do you believe that no matter who it is, you're the best 145er in the world?
Definitely. I feel hands down the best 145 pounder in the world. And in my eyes, I've never lost a fight at the 145 pound division. So yeah, PFL's got the baddest 145 pounder on the planet. And anybody that's willing to test it, put your money where your mouth is, and we can see what's up.
Congratulations and enjoy the win, man.
Thank you.
AJ, earlier this week we talked about your love for military, you talked about deep waters. So do you enjoy that aspect of your game when you take your opponents to deep waters and you're essentially drowning in that way?
Definitely, this was a slow pace start. Well, the fight started at a slower pace in my perspective, and he was fast, he was throwing some heat. I was able to get out of the way of his punches, but on the feet, I couldn't really put it together, you know what I mean? And I think that's the blessing of having such a wide variety of skill set, is you're able to rely on other skills. So once I was able to take him down, I was like, oh, this is easy. This is your go-to. So take him down and just drowned him. And after that second round, I saw him sitting on the floor. Actually, I think it was after the first round. And I was like, after this round, I got him. So into the second, I wasn't tired. I knew I could go. I was just kind of waiting, you know what I mean? I was trying to bait him to come in more so I could counter his offense to create an offense, and he just wasn't biting for it. And I think it was due to him being a little bit tired as well. So, yeah, it was just get on top, man. Get on top and just go to work. That third round, I was like, it's kill or be killed. Give it all you got, you know what I mean?
Earlier this week, I had a conversation with Sean O'Connor who said it felt like and it appeared like it's you fighting a almost younger version of where you were when you were coming up. Did you kind of feel that maybe like I'm not comparing him to you, but just he's had all these skills and just what you took from him as an opponent in the cage?
Definitely, having that undefeated behind you, having that mentality of I'm the best and continuing to persevere in rough situations. It feeds a monster inside of you when you work hard, diligently, day in, day out. So to be undefeated and to continue working and climbing the ranks. I remember when I was undefeated and I first fought Pat Kern. I was like, this is my first champ. I gotta go get him. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get him. I don't care what it takes. I'm gonna just go out there and outclass him. So knowing that, you know, first round was kind of either way. I felt maybe I did a little bit just to edge out that first round. Second round, I knew I had to take the second round, and third round, go out with a bang, try to get him out of there.
When you look at the rankings and everything, you were a big topic of conversation. I don't know that John Martin said what he said, but Shopley said if the PFL thought he would move down to 145. When you look at the landscape of your division, I get your reaction. Is that high level really fight match that you would like?
Definitely. I'm down to fight anybody, you know. Shabley and I, we're cool. We've had words here and there, you know, sell the show, talk a little shit here and there on the gram. But when we get face to face, it's always a mutual respect. I love his skill set. He's been doing big things. I think even at lightweight, we were looking to line up with each other. Obviously, the loss to Paul Hughes and some other things happened, and I just once again wanted to remind everybody who the best and baddest 145 pounder is in the world. So that was initially the whole move to the lightweight or featherweight division again.
Last one for me. What does that mean to you? I know how well decorated you are in your career, but you just said PFL has the baddest 145 in the world. What does that mean to represent this company in your standing and where you are?
It's an honor. You know, it's an honor because one, the organization trusts in me to allow me to headline shows like this with or without a title on the line. It shows they trust in me as an athlete, as a businessman to do what I'm supposed to do. And that's put asses in the seat and entertain the fans. Thank you.
MMA Locker Room here, part of Pub Sports Radio. You're a SoCal staple representing Long Beach. Hearing the crowd inside the Pacino Arena tonight, how did that help you fuel yourself to the win?
The motivation is always through the roof when you got a crowd fully here cheering for you, you know what I mean? San Diego's got a big military background. I had one of my buddies, ex-Marine, walk out with me. He helped me with my weight cut and everything. So having that family, that unity, that team camaraderie, it's something you don't get much of in mixed martial arts. So when it comes to aspects like this, I love to take it all in when I'm able to have everyone come out and support and just be there for me, you know what I mean? Whether they're on the outside, I still hear them, you know what I mean? When I'm hearing those USA chants, I know that's for me.
And then talking about taking it all in, you just took somebody's win, an undefeated fighter, 10-0. Before the fight, you know, you say, hey, he might be a little bit sus. Now, after you just went 15 minutes, do you still feel that same energy?
No, he's a beast, you know what I mean? Like I said previously, his win over Pineda showed me that. He's got that dog in him, but at the same time, I just feel the dog that's inside of me. You're gonna have to kill me in there. You know what I mean? It's kill or be killed. I'm not gonna fold. I'm not gonna stop coming, and I'm gonna give it all I got the entire time.
And then last one for me. How does it feel to be called one of the best featherweights in the division, and not even in the UFC organization, but everybody seems to know your name? It don't matter where you go. You could go to Ryzen, Japan, fight. You fought all across the world, but everybody knows the name AJ McKEE, the mercenary.
I think the last name McKEE, you know, I'm the only second generation fighter that's in here making noise like this. The last name McKEE has reigned in mixed martial arts since the beginning of time. My father was fighting in the 90s. So for me, it's not a surprise, it's appreciated that our last name gets the respect that it deserves in this game. And yeah, man, we're not going nowhere. We're 2-3 generations deep. Little bro, you see him walking around here same way I was walking around tap out shows as a kid. So this is what we do, man. We're here and we're taking over.
I'm curious because the walkout was quite memorable for sure. Like, how did that all come together with Team Jazz? What did it feel like?
Man, it's a Long Beach thing. Strong Beach all the way. We stick together. You know, Long Beach has produced some of the best athletes, some of the best artists in the world. You know what I mean? Long Beach is bred for breeding top tier quality. You know, there's something about the lifestyle coming from nothing and being able to make it out. A lot of people don't understand it, you know, but the way we work, we come from nothing. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to make it out of where we come from. And all odds are put against us, and we just continue to show up and show out. So that song I've enjoyed for so long because I'm addicted to getting the money. I got to get the money, you know what I mean? Everybody get mad when I get the money. So they go try to put whoever and whatever in front of me to stop that from happening. But at the end of the day, if it ain't money, don't call my name.
Yeah, one of my media contemporaries here referenced your past fight with Ryzen, and that was part of a cross-promotional effort. A lot of people online are saying there's a potential fight with Ross Holloway, Sean Elias. He's a very exciting fighter too. What would your temperature be on something like that? Is it key about pulling across promotion?
Let's do it. I'm all about unifying belts. I'm all about testing the best of the best. And Japan is one of my favorite places to fight from the Pride days as a kid. You know what I mean? They've put on some of the most. I love their rule set too. Just be able to soccer kick somebody in the head. It's just barbaric. It's like that true modern gladiator warrior type fight. Those are the best fights to me. That's the type of style of fighting I like. You know, obviously the more technical points and it's cool, but it's something about that brute damage wins the fight. You know what I mean? Damage wins fight, output wins fight. And Japan's fan base is amazing, dude. It's one of the most surreal crowds in the world that I've ever fought in front of. There's nothing like it. The only thing that matches that is fighting in front of your home crowd. That's literally the only thing, but even that is different because you go for a submission, they applaud. You escape the submission, they applaud. They appreciate all dynamics of the sport, you know what I mean, and the craft that goes into mixed martial arts.
And lastly for me, because when we were speaking at the media day, we were talking about how you were the Bellator MMA coach, you're trying to be the PFL coach. It seems like so much of the discourse now is essentially going to be getting that title shot. Like how much does this next fight serve as like a platform to jettison you towards being the PFL coach?
Well, it's really up to the organization, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm the mercenary. You call me when you need a job done. I've got my focus on one thing and one thing only, and that's being the best in the world. And what comes along the lines of that is being a champion. So that's where I keep my focus on, and that's what I continue to call out for. And until we get there, until they feel that I'm ready to be there, I'm going to just continue to do what I do best, and that's kick ass, take names.
Hey, back here, you were asking there about the blockade. Tell me about Scott McKEE friends, and he's still here. Celebrating. Usually, like, raffle with him, and then before we get out of here, but he's really part of your team pretty much.
Nah, man, that's my brother. You know what I mean? But before I was the mercenary, the best fighter in the world, I have a group. I have a group of friends, man, that before I even knew who I was, they trusted in me and they knew who I was capable of being, and they always pushed me to be better and to do the best that I can do, you know what I mean? Whether I was out hanging out at the clubs, drinking, they're still like, hey, you're the best fighter in the world, bro. Don't be drinking. Like, get your shit together, you know what I mean? So now being I'd say a few years sober, I mean, I think I had a beer for the first time in like 3.5 years, like probably 2.5, 3 months ago. So it's things like that, you know, when I used to drink 5 bottles of Casamigo in a night, just being fucking stupid, you know what I mean? To where they're like, hey bro, like you're the best in the world, go do that. So they trusted in me and knew who I was capable of being, far beyond who I did, and never asked for anything, you know? We go pop bottles at a club, $40,000, $50,000 table, and it's just, come kick it, AJ, come chill, you know what I mean? Like, they showed me who I was before I even knew who I was, so those are real friends. But even in the midst of doing all of that, they always pushed me to do the right thing and stay on the right track.
Genesis would actually come to you when you were like partying and say, hey, you got to get out.
Oh yeah.
You mentioned, wouldn't you?
100%. Yeah, 100%. We'll be back in the room kicking it, drinking, and chilling. Hey man, just chill out. And old AJ used to be a hothead, I will say. Back in the day, I used to be a hothead. But you get older, you get a little bit wiser, you know. But yeah, all my friends, they've always pushed me. Hey, don't drink. You don't got to do this. Don't be like us. Be different. Be better. You know, you're on a different path. You're the homie. You're always going to be the homie. You're always family. We're here. We ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? So it's always love with them, and it's always been that way.
AJ, real quick over here. During our interview earlier this week, I asked you kind of about teaching a lesson and being that 26-fight veteran that would come in and show a 10-0 kind of guy levels to the game, if that makes sense. Do you feel like, or maybe coming into the fight, was that a big part of your mindset? Really just remembering how many fights you've been in and all the experience that you have under your belt compared to him?
I don't think it's just the experience. I think it goes deeper, you know. Like I said, where I come from, what I've made it out of, things I've been through in life, you gotta want it. And you gotta want it every second. Even when I mentally fold and I break, I tell myself, keep going. And I think that's what sets me far apart from a lot of fighters, you know. When the going gets going, I'm gonna continue to persevere. You know, if it gets bad, I'm gonna keep going.
Earlier in this interview right now, you had mentioned that you started off a little slow. It sounded like maybe you aren't as happy as a lot of people would think with your performance, but you showed a true display of mixed martial arts, from the striking to the wrestling and grappling. You know, as the mercenary, how important is that to you to be as ready in every position?
I mean, it's like a military tactic. You got to cover all angles, and when something doesn't go wrong, you still got to have another angle to cover. You know what I mean? So I'm happy with the performance. The job was done. That's what matters. Are there things to work on? 100%. Even in a 5-second knockout, there's something to work on. And I feel that's how you become the best, is finding your flaws, finding opportunities to always continue to get better, do better, and be better.
Fair enough. I feel like at this point in your career, you're at a place and you're at a point in the division where you can actually say that there's maybe a matchup you're looking forward to. And if you don't have one, that's totally cool. But is there any names in the PFL that really ring a bell right now for you?
No names, just a number. That's all it is, number one. If I'm 2, then there's one ahead of me. He's got to go.
Thank you.